You got no wood. Let me quickly, before my wife comes around and share, let me quickly, I wasn't going to do this, but come on up here. They need to see a big smile face. This guy, I'm telling you what, he's singing those I ain't hit since I was in puberty. I'm telling you, I can't just do it anymore, that's for sure. Yeah, they understand. You probably don't. But anyway, he's 18 years old. He's fresh out of high school. I tell everybody he's fresher than tomorrow's avocado. But he's doing a great job. Has a good spirit about him. He has a servant's heart, and I really appreciate that. You know, there's some people, they're like, bless me if you think you can. I'm here. Let's have church. You know, those type of people. I'm so glad he's nothing like that. Doing a great job for us. He's only been with us about 2 months. I think he's doing a great job. He's anointed, and I appreciate that. But one thing about this guy, this is his first trip up to Kentucky, right? He came up to, we went to the National Quartet Convention. He was like a kid in a candy store. He says, I'm about to throw up. I said, what? He said, all this excitement, I'm about to throw up. And especially when we got down there to the main stage and the Gaither vocal band got up there, he really about threw up, I'm telling you. The driving's what got you. Oh, what road was we on last night? That was one of the roads we were on. We were coming up, I think it was 68 or somewhere. Now, he don't get out much. He's never seen a drive-in theater outside. He went, is that a drive-in? He was so excited, he said. I said, what? That's a drive-in. He said, I've never seen a drive-in theater. He had to call his daddy. He said, I just saw the drive-in. He said, you mean drive-in theater? He knew exactly what he was talking about. He certainly didn't think he was talking about McDonald's. We used to say that all the time. I'm kidding. Listen, we got to pick. We pick on our large folks together, but we don't want short, skinny people pick on large folks, right? Right, that's how it works. Anyway, y'all glad to see from Dakota, Georgia, Mr. Simon Smith. Now, the beautiful one of the bunch, that's right, she's beautiful, we're not. She traveled with a family, a group called the Perrys for about 18 years. I'm familiar with that group. You might be familiar. Oh, they've been here. I'm sorry. I thought that. Have they been here? Been here? Okay. I just make sure. Now, one thing y'all probably will notice right off the bat, she's taller than Libby, ain't she? Yeah, she's actually the tallest of the bunch. She's 5'2". Her brother Randy's 5 foot, and Libby's 4'8". Now, Deborah don't have this problem down in Georgia, but Libby does. So they live in Tennessee, but she has a problem down in Georgia. You said, what do you mean? Well, you know, she's 4'8". They just passed a law down there. If you're 4'8" shorter, you got to be in the booster seat. That's the law. So she got me in a booster seat when she drives down to Georgia. I love it. And they're not short, y'all. They're just vertically challenged. But they used to be called God's little people. And that's the truth. I mean, that's the truth. Me and Tracy, he's about, what, 5'5", 5'4", something like that. Then Chuck, your other sister's husband, he's about 6'10". No, not really. About 6'4", 6'5". But it's pretty interesting. We're laying the giants amongst all these little people. But something about my wife, y'all don't know. You know she's a Perry, you know that. But one thing y'all don't know, my wife loves to shop. How many women love to shop? Right, now some of y'all are lying, you better raise it higher. All right, before I say, let me ask you a question. How many men loves your wives? Y'all better raise them higher than that. You guys like, almost like a popcorn preacher. You're smart. You are smart. You can't fit up. I didn't tell you to put it down, right? Everybody else like, she don't look impressed, but he's raising his hand longer than everybody else. Maybe she'll cook a nice dinner afterwards. But anyway, okay, how many married folks do we have here today? All right, how many happy married? Sure, why don't you ladies put your hand down? I didn't put your hand down, you put your hand down. Okay. Well, anyway, I love my wife, but there's one thing I just can't understand, Jason, is why she likes to shop and don't buy anything. The guy told me, you better be glad she ain't buying nothing. That's why I guess I probably can do anything like that. He said, ain't like my wife. I said, what do you mean? He He said, my wife lost her credit card. I said, man, that's horrible. He said, no, it's really good. I said, why do you figure that? He said, well, the one that ended up with is spending less than she is. I wouldn't report it either. Save me some money. Oh, man. But that ain't the case with her. She don't have a credit card on the letter. But anyway, she loves to shop. But like I said, I don't understand why she does that. What do you call window shopping? Y'all know what, ladies, you know what I mean? You go through about 10 racks till you finally buy one thing. Yeah, you probably done it too. I can't help it. She must have went with you. You're a good little shopper. Don't tell everything you know, dear. Your daddy told you that. Remember that. Anyway, I love my wife. I can't understand. Anyway, I wanted to watch. I'm not really a big Georgia fan, but I wanted to watch Georgia play Georgia Tech. It's just the state thing. Well, anyway, I wanted to watch. I got a little bit aggravated because one Saturday she was taking her sweet time. So finally, I looked at her. I said, "Honey, why do you call it shopping and you don't buy anything?" Well, she looked at me with those brown eyes. She went and said, "Well, honey, it's the same way you go fishing and don't catch anything." Well, I guess that would go with hunting too, right? The poor Duck Dynasty guys got them duck calls. They just can't get them ducks. But anyway, y'all glad to see my wife from Delonia, Georgia. Give me a prayer with me. You know, these people are laughing. They don't care if you introduce me.
Oh, this is my husband, Christopher Reed, and he's not really Superman. Would y'all give him a...
Amen.
I would like to share just for a moment, because this is so much a part of our ministry, and it's why that we travel this country and we share the good news through song, but we also like to share why that our name is Jaden's Call. Has anybody heard the story as to why that our group's name is Jaden's Call? Did you see the pictures before service? You're probably wondering who that little boy was, that pretty little boy. Well, that is Jaden. Back in May of 2006, I was sitting at work one day and the phone rang, and it was my 17-year-old daughter on the other end. She said, "Mom," she said, "when you get home," she said, "we need to sit down." She said, "I need to tell you something." At that very moment, I can still feel what I felt that day when she made that call to me. How fear all of a sudden just gripped my heart. Because I knew what she was going to tell me, and that was that she was going to have a baby. Ashley was 21 weeks along before we found out. She had played basketball ever since she was in kindergarten. She was looking at scholarships to go on to play at some small college somewhere in North Georgia. And all I could think of is that her life was going to be forever changed. I did not realize how much that we would all be changed. Sometimes change is good. Sometimes, brother, going through these valleys of sorrow, even though at the moment that we're going through it, we can't see where there's any good that would come out of that. But let me tell you, joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. If we just allow God to embrace us and bring, He wants us to come to Him. So many reject Him and turn Him away because of bad things that's happened in their life, and they become embittered because they think that if God was a God of love, how could He allow these things to happen? When brother, was this Josh Conway, a couple of days ago, when he met the Lord, you know what? God could have stopped it. But for some reason, God said, this mountain, I'm going to have to keep in the way for this family that's going to have to go through the sorrow of losing a child. We started singing back many years ago, and we weren't raised in a singing family, and I look at all the ministries that our family are involved in today. And my brother Randy that sang with the group, he's an evangelist. He travels all over the country, and little Libby. What a powerhouse. How God took this little 4 foot, 7 1/4 little girl and has used her all across this country. How that she has been over the past 8 months, she's been my hero. As many of you know, her husband suffered a brain aneurysm or a brain hemorrhage on January the 21st, and he's been in the hospital for 8 months, fighting for his life. And we're going to believe that God is going to bring him through this. I had a bass singer that's really well known this past week. We were talking about Tracy and about his condition, and he must be Baptist is all I know. He'd have to be. He looked at me and he said, you know, he said, that boy's brain is fried. He said, y'all might as well just accept the fact that he's never going to be able to sing again. Well, you know what? He's already singing. He may not be like he was up on the stage, but from the bed that he lays in that rehab center, Tracy is singing a song. We don't know if he's ever going to be back up here, but we choose to believe that God has the power. Who do we serve? Do we believe what we sing? Do we believe what we read in the Holy Word? The Word says that God can do the impossible. And that's what we're going to believe. I tried to be nice. I didn't say a word because it kind of slapped me in the face, and I thought, oh my goodness, where's your faith? Where's our faith today? We started singing after we lost our oldest brother. An 18-year-old young man came along his way on a Thursday evening and locked him in an old abandoned refrigerator down behind our house in a trash dump. And that's where little Johnny met the Lord. We started singing on Christmas Day at a good old foot washing service. How many's ever been in one of those? It's humbling, isn't it? It's humbling to get down and let somebody wash your feet. We need more of that today. Because you know what? There's in churches that we go into, there's been splits and divisions and all of that. And you know what, Pastor? When we used to do feet washing, do you know what would bring and make all of those things